Peace of Heaven Farm. Today I'm going to do a little garden tour and show everybody what we got growing. And some of the things we grow we will be canning it up for the winter season or freezing them. Right now I'm standing underneath our kiwi and it's starting to get showing some buds, so it should be blooming pretty soon. Okay, let's go ahead and take you inside the garden. Alright, we're inside our garden. And over here we got some garlic. They're just now starting to turn yellow. But the ones here in this bed has turned yellow quite a bit. So we're about ready to harvest. Here's our peppers. They're supposed to be the Aloha peppers, but from what I understand, we're not going to actually get the Aloha coloration. We'll have to do an update video on that and explain what we learned. There's some Italian Roma tomatoes and some David Davidson's tomatoes. Doing quite well. Here we got tomatoes already on these. Yeah, I know you're seeing my shadow here. This is like early in the morning. And over here are some Yukon Gold potatoes. Some Volunteer Nasties. In here, growing in a pot, is our chocolate cherry tomato. I'm going to be eating on it pretty soon. Got some Swiss chard that I got just planted in here about a week ago and already coming out of the ground. Some elephant garlic. Looks like it's starting to turn, so I'll probably be harvesting that pretty soon. Here's some peppers that we overwintered. Like here's flamingo peppers. These guys are on their third season. This one here is a Black Beauty. And some more, a couple of young Black Beauties here. People say that if you pinch the top off and make it shoot out side branches. Well, I never do that because you see there's a lot of flowers right there that you would lose. And it is branching out all on its own. Yeah, there's a helicopter over there flying behind the trees. He thinks he's hiding. Let's see if he'll... Yeah, he's not going to show himself. I'm pretty sure you probably heard him go by. Some more nasties in a hanging basket. My carrots. Here's my cauliflower. Looks like I got a head down there is ready to harvest. And the other side there is the broccolis, and I've been eating on that all spring. Over here are some Volunteer potatoes, probably the red Pontiac. some peas, and I've got some beets growing inside there. Some more beets. One thing about beets, they don't seem to all sprout all at once. And there's some there that took quite some time. Strawberries in a basket. Some more of these tomatoes. Got some nice green tomatoes on these. There's a nice little cluster. Some more volunteer potatoes. And there's another chocolate cherry tomato. Getting ripe. You see how the leaves are on these? I don't know if you can tell, that sun's kind of sitting low in the sky. That means it didn't get hardened off properly. So it's in shock mode. It'll probably take a little bit for it to come out of it. And the leaves are all kind of discolored. Some of them are just flat out dying off. But it'll snap out of it. Just goes to show the importance of making sure you get your stuff hardened off before you plant them. That's like 1 hour a day. Increase it each day 1 hour. By 1 week's time, you should have them sitting out there all day. And here are non-jalapenos. These are from 2020, so they're on their 3rd season. I already got plenty of peppers on those guys. Some eggplants. That's my overwintered perpetual spinach. It's gone to seed. I may just go ahead and just let it go and collect the seeds. Obviously I don't need this many of them. Like I've been doing, I've been plucking some of them off and feeding them to the chickens. That's some more cool crops growing in the pot. Got some peas here growing in the pot. And some potatoes growing in the pot. Up here I've got some zucchini. Look like I need some slug bait in there. Had this over because birds were in there eating the seeds. It's just like over here. I had to put this hardware cloth on top of these guys because the birds were having a heyday in here yesterday, eating up the seeds. And they got turnips. Yeah, you see where those birds just digs along the sides. Over here is my red wing onions. They're doing very well. Yeah, you feed these guys nitrogen about every other week, because more green leaves you get on them, the bigger your onion will be. There'll be like more rings on the onion. But now it's about almost 2nd week of June, so I'm gonna stop feeding them, let them bulb up, because I'll be harvesting these in a few weeks, sometime in July. There's some more of my tomatoes. These are my paste tomatoes. Amish paste tomatoes. Probably not saying that right, but oh well. And these over here are San Maranos. They're doing very well. Yeah, I know, you could probably thin these out, cut off all these suckers. Like this one here could be cut out. But I really don't need them super tall where I need a ladder to get them. And I feel that you will get more potatoes, more tomatoes if you just let them all grow. I mean, I've got plenty of space out in the garden, so I don't need like try to conserve space and make sure they all grow vertically in a single stem. I can let them bush out. If you let them grow in a single stem, and then you're going to have to plant more tomatoes in order to get the same amount of harvest you do if you just let them bush out on their own. And there are some tomatoes in here. I kind of tucked away, being protected from the sun so they don't get sun scald. There's a nice cluster. That's oregano. That's some kind of currant. I don't remember which kind. Over here is the green beans, and I had to put this little hardware cloth around them to keep the birds out of it. As you can tell, it doesn't really keep the slugs out, so I got to put slug bait in there to take care of those guys. Lemon balm. That stuff grows like a weed. Very invasive. More of my potatoes. Red Pontiacs and russet potatoes. I haven't bought seed potatoes in years, because I just harvest these and save the littlest ones for next year's crop. And that's one good way to be self-sufficient on your potatoes, so you never have to buy potato sets or seedlings or whatever you want to call it. This is my first year of growing asparagus. It'll probably take a couple more years to actually get real good asparagus out of it. Some mint, some different varieties of mint. And radishes. And broccolis. Now let's take you out to the berries and fruit. Right here is my grapes. Get ready to bloom here. I don't know if it's the variety I'm growing or the way I take care of them. The grapes themselves don't seem to be very big. They're like tiny little grapes. I heard that you keep them pruned down, like you prune all this off down to here, so it pulls energy into grapes. I've been doing that. I still seem to get small, tiny grapes. So it could just be the variety of grapes I've got. Nice bunch of flowers there. And all these grapes along here on this side are from cuttings. I just stuck them in the ground and they took right off. Looks like I'm going to have a lot of grapes this year. There's plenty of them on there. I don't know, maybe it's some kind of fertilizer I need to get those grapes to swell up to be a lot bigger grape. Elderberries. We make elderberry syrup out of it and elderberry wine. Over here is the blueberries. They seem to be growing really well this year. Not a whole lot of berries on the plant. I'm not sure what the reason is for that. But the plant itself is putting on a lot of new growth. So maybe next year I'll have a better harvest. There's my strawberries doing really well. Now I got a few weeds in there I got to pluck out. There's a little runner. Let that hit the ground and that will give you a brand new strawberry. Or you just cut those off and so it put all its energy into producing the strawberries. And some more blueberries. And some marronberries. They're going to need a little bit of work. in there, get that cleaned up. But and of course my greenhouse build. Alright, now to my orchard. This is a multi-pear tree. It's like some of the side branching died, so I got to get that cut out. I don't seem to get very good pears on this tree anyway, so may have to just remove it completely. This here is a white peach. The flesh is white. That right there is a good example of peach leaf curl. Even when you do spray them, you don't quite get it all eliminated. But I don't have a whole lot on there. You just pinch those leaves and get rid of it. There you go. Pinch off all those affected leaves. And there's the new leaves right there forming, and there's nothing on it. So no matter what sprayer you use, you'll still get a little bit of peach leaf curl. See, like there's one here on the bottom of it, but the newer leaves don't have it. Just go ahead and pluck those off. Now this one right here, it has red. That might be peach leaf curl, but not always. Now here's this peach tree, July, Alberta. Boy, it's just loaded with peaches. It's got peaches all over it, so we'll be canning up a lot of peaches sometime towards the end of August. The elevation where I'm at, it seems to take one more month for them to be ready to harvest. This over here is a plum tree. We've had it for a few years. Haven't been able to eat a plum off it yet. And there's one right there. One right there. I mean, it had flowers on all over it, and right now I can only see two. I mean, if that's going to be the production of this plum tree, I think this plum tree is on its way out and get something different. My nectarine tree not doing so good, mainly due to the wildlife. Deer come in here and like to chew on it or rub their antlers on it, rut. And these are some cherry trees. And another plum tree, I gave it a major haircut because it was getting way too tall. These are my apple trees. That's Granny Smith. I won't be eating on that one until about October. Not sure what this one is. And you can see it's got a lot of apples on it. A lot of apples on this one too. This one here is a Fuji apple. Good eating right off the tree. And here's what we call our 100-year-old apple tree. Boy, that guy's a monster. We can a lot of our applesauce off of that one. Obviously, we can't get the ones way up there, but we pick the ones off down low, and any good ones that are on the ground we will pick up and make applesauce out of it. That big old tree right over there is an empress tree. It's already done blooming. Alrighty, well, thanks for stopping by a Little Piece of Heaven Farm and checking out my garden, orchard, and fruit and berries and whatnot. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.